Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we take a look at the OnePlus 9 versus a real camera. Now there's some discussion online about whether or not, and I'm hand holding both of these today because I'm going to be moving around and going to different locations. So there's some discussion about how well the Hasselblad branding or the Hasselblad techniques behind the OnePlus 9 have taken the OnePlus 9 series to another level. I myself personally, I feel like it has, but I don't think it's better quality than an actual camera. Now right now, this is the A6100 that I'm using for this footage with the Sigma lens. And just that alone, the OnePlus and every other cell phone, with the exception of Sony, I would say, yeah, that's the only one I think that can probably handle or come close to a mirrorless or DSLR. But this is the A6100, and then we're gonna look at the OnePlus 9 in this same spot, and then I'll go outside as well, and we'll see how it does. Now the OnePlus does shoot portrait video as well, but this Sigma lens by default, hey, this is my setup, and so if everyone says the OnePlus is great, it should be able to handle anything. And can it handle a comparison like this? So let's switch to the OnePlus, and then we'll go outside. So now I'm shooting with the OnePlus. I will go outside too. It's a little cool out actually, but it's not sunny. So that'll give me a chance to get some really decent footage with both devices, and we'll see how that works out. But the OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro have the Hasselblad branding on them, and tons of people are excited about this camera, implying that it is definitely better than some mirrorless and DSLR cameras out there. I personally don't think so. It's about personal preference, but I think the facts are the reason this phone, just like every other cell phone, except for Sony, except for the Sony Xperia line, that's probably the closest match that you can get to a mirrorless or DSLR camera. But the OnePlus Hasselblad footage, this is it right here in the same spot. Now I'm going to go outside and get some outside footage. All right, so now we're outside. It's a gloomy day out. I'm glad it's not too sunny because that definitely plays a part in when you're shooting video for a device. Now, this is the A6100, and obviously here's the OnePlus 9. We're going to switch to the OnePlus 9 in just a minute, and we'll see how this footage actually comes out. But I personally don't feel like any cell phone can match a mirrorless camera or DSLR because you can switch lenses, and the sensors on mirrorless cameras and DSLRs are just always probably going to be better. Now, do I credit OnePlus for bringing out a fantastic device? Of course I do. Are the cameras on the OnePlus better than... Let me know how this sounds because it's really windy out here and it's kind of cool too. But does the cameras on the OnePlus take it to another level? Of course it does. OnePlus did a great job by linking up with Hasselblad, but to my understanding, it's a Sony sensor in there. So with the tweaks of Hasselblad. So you just let me know what you think about this footage compared to the OnePlus 9. Now let me switch to the OnePlus 9. All right, now so here's the OnePlus 9 and here's the A6100. Now it's windy out, so let's see how well the OnePlus 9 can actually handle this type of footage. Now I personally think that the OnePlus 9's footage for portrait video is actually really solid. Is it better than LG? Nah, and the filters on Samsung make theirs a little bit more entertaining, but the quality here is actually pretty decent. And I'm curious to see how OnePlus will handle this wind because honestly it's about 50-55 degrees. And it's really windy, so we'll see how this works out. But I still say that a phone cannot match a mirrorless camera. Not happening. So what about photos against a real camera? How well will this do against the Sony for taking photos? Taking photos around the house. I've already taken the photos around the house with this phone multiple times, so maybe I'll just use those photos. But I need to take photos with the Sony and those same things, and we'll see how that plays a part. But I guess I could take photos out here, but I'll just use those photos because it's pretty much the same inside, I should say. But let's get some photos. this entire video was handheld. Everything I did was handheld. So if you saw me moving like this, one advantage that I saw from the OnePlus obviously is the stabilization when me just rocking or just kind of moving around right here, but I wasn't really focusing on that. I'm focusing on the quality because I can get a lens with OIS to make it better. In result, the OnePlus is great. It's a good phone, but in no way is it beating up or matching any camera that I can see so far. I could take my old Canon and I think it would have better footage than with the 10 to 18 millimeter lens, and especially the 24 millimeter lens would definitely have better footage than the OnePlus. Now this video isn't to beat up on the OnePlus 9. It's just to make a point that sometimes when we're excited about something, we tend to ignore reality. And the reality is the OnePlus 9 is great. The Hasselblad branding, the Hasselblad things done with it definitely boosts. It helped the OnePlus 9 take it in the league of Samsung, take it in the league of LG, and just all the phones that you could think of that have great cameras. It helped them. But in no way is it beating up on an actual camera. Was this fair? Some of you might say, well, it wasn't fair. You used a Sigma lens. Well, you said, not you in particular, but several people said this OnePlus 9 was just the best thing since sliced bread, especially the Pro. And for you guys that are gonna say, well, you don't have the Pro, so that's not fair. The Pro would have done better. Yeah, no, the Pro would not have done better. We're talking about the Sony A6100 with the Sigma lens. Not many camera setups for vlogging and things like that are gonna match this setup, and I stand behind that 100%. So anybody out there who feels like the OnePlus 9 was cheated in this comparison, or just feels like, you know, I shouldn't have done the comparison, well, so what? So what? I've heard a lot of chatter about the OnePlus 9 being the best phone on the market now, and yeah, it's a great phone. And I like the cameras. I've even used the OnePlus 9 to record some videos on the channel, and I've even spoken of it. So I feel like all the phones I review, the OnePlus 9 is currently my daily driver along with the OnePlus Nord and the Pixel 4a 5G. Those are my dailies right now, as far as like phones I'm using regularly. So I think that, this camera's getting a little heavy with this lens, I think that let's get back to reality. The OnePlus 9 is great. It's a fantastic phone. The cameras are fantastic. The video is fantastic. It does portrait video. I think it's fantastic. The regular quality video is fantastic. However, it's still not at a mirrorless camera or DSLR quality. Anyone argue? I don't argue that. Fine. I'll see you in the comments. But I think we should be a little bit more realistic in our approach when we're talking about a cell phone. And again, if it's not the Sony Xperia line, that's the closest I would even guess or give a close assumption that can come close to a mirrorless camera setup or a DSLR setup. So OnePlus, fantastic job. OnePlus isn't saying this. This is kind of the tech community. Not just one person either. It's several people out there that feel like the OnePlus 9 Pro is just a beast and the OnePlus 9 is great, and that it is better than every camera out there, even mirrorless. So what do you have to say now? It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed a brief discussion video and comparison with the OnePlus 9 versus a real camera. Take care.